Hi, I'm Lydia Rackham, and I'm doing a short series called Books from a Candy Dish, where I just pick out a title of one of my books, and I talk about it for 10 minutes off the cuff. And so it's just a fun, quick little thing about what inspired me about this particular book. So let me pick one out here. There's so many. This has been my life. All right. Ooh, Paradox Initiative. Alrighty. Okay. Set a timer for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, counting down. Okay, so it's funny what things inspire you. So I saw the movie Eragon long ago, and I didn't care about anybody in it except for the character of Murtagh, the black-haired guy. And I liked him. And he actually inspired the character of Olron in the Beowulf Seeker. Man, that took it. But the actor's name is Garrett Hedlund, and I thought he did a really good job in that. And then, when was Tron? I think, yeah, that Tron Legacy came out also, and which is really good. I like that. I remember they won, Daft Punk won an Oscar for the music for that, and it's super cool. Very atmospheric. Couldn't be anything but that movie. But I was in an airport and I got, was it a magazine? I got a magazine of something, or my dad did. And I flipped it open and there was some advertisement for some cologne or something. But it was Garrett Hedlund, this actor, in a leather jacket, and he was smoking, and his hair was sort of a certain way. And I was just like, that is a character that I am interested in. He doesn't exist, but I'm interested in him. That's how it usually starts. There's a character, and then the story writes itself around him, because it's like, what is he? What's his problem? And then how do we need to solve it? That creates the story. So, and Garrett Hedlund himself kind of inspired stuff because he seems like kind of like an old soul. He, the one interview that I watched him in, he was talking and his phone went off, and he was like, oh my gosh, and he actually took the phone out and he threw it across the room. He's like, I hate that stuff. He's like, I hate phones and gadgets and all this nonsense. And I'm like, because he's my age, and we all grew up with this stuff. And so it's like, he's like, I hate all that. And I'm like, wow, that's an unusual person, especially an unusual celebrity, young celebrity. And he's also a musician. But I thought, what if there was a man who was from the past who was suddenly flung into the future for a particular, maybe against his will. See, it's kind of like the Beowulf Seeker. He was in the medieval past and went forward into modern, I don't know, the 2000s. But I was like, well, what if we did it to an extreme? What if we did somebody from the Civil War era and threw him forward into future, like space travel type of future? But he's not wanting to go forward in time. He's actually wanting to, well, not first anyway. What if someone came and did something to him in the past? Someone from the future did something to him in the past, and now he is chasing that person through the future to try to get him to undo what he did. So he is sort of the mysterious figure. And our main character that we follow around is named Kestrel Evans, because there has to be a girl. And she is also kind of an old soul. She lives in the future. But she studied like antique documents in school. That's what she wanted to work in a museum, but she's been shafted for the job that she wanted. And so now she's working retail in the spaceport, selling guns to tourists who are going to take them to faraway planets and use them to go hunting or, target shooting or whatever they, want to do. Sports guns. So she knows all about guns, but not because she's interested in them, just because she works in a shop. She has to show people things. And then a time machine shows up in her back room and it like explodes everything and knocks everything down. And this guy in a leather jacket smoking a cigarette, which is illegal at the time, and he's holding a sawed-off shotgun. She's like, but he seems very casual about everything. He asks what year it is, which is, and then the time machine it's gonna self-destruct. And to her shock, this scary stranger grabs her and jerks her out of the front of the shop and throws her down and covers her with himself, and the thing explodes. And, that's, huge, it's like a bomb going off. So huge dust and explosions and all that stuff. In the dust, she loses him. But she's really, and when she tells what happens, nobody believes her. And then he shows up at her house. She's alone in the backyard, and he shows up at her house. And he says that he needs to find a particular person, a scientist. But right as he is talking about that, somebody raids her house. Her mom and dad and twin brothers are in the house, and they haul off her family. And this guy who shows up, his name is Jack Wolf. He tells her that he was actually the target, and they must have followed him there. And in order to get her family back, she's going to have to help him, because they're after the same thing. They're after the same person. And this takes them on a interstellar journey on a space cruise ship, which I always love travel by ocean liner. I've written a few books that include ocean liners, and this is like the space version of an ocean liner. I just think that interesting things happen on ships like that. So it's an adventure mixed with a mystery mixed with a love story, and it's just highly unusual. I'd never read a science fiction like this, because I just don't believe that, well, and even in Star Trek, they kind of bring this in and acknowledge it a little bit. The past doesn't just get wiped out of people's minds and memories just because we're modern now. There are people that still enjoy old things. Not everybody wants their house and everything to be white and stainless steel. That's not the case. People don't like that even now. So it's unrealistic to think that the future is going to be like the Jetsons, where nobody has anything that looks organic or antique-y. That's not the way. So people still possess those things and still value those things, and it's kind of a juxtaposition, especially like for Jack, because he's from where he's from. He rails against the annoyance of like advertisements flashing in your face, or constant music, constant noise, constant stimulation. And even we are like, we can get overloaded with that stuff. right now, like this device constantly, and he would be like, you know, get that out of, ugh. And so he, yeah, it's a little bit of conflict because he's like, I want to go back, but then it's like, because of all the things he's been through, can he go back? Is he really the same person anymore? Would he be able to just pick up his old life and live it out? Or is he too changed to be happy in that way? So, um, it's an interesting one-off story. You will love how it resolves. Um, it's interesting. It is not all fast-paced like Star Wars. You know, it's not all shooting. It's not constant peril. It's introspective. There's introspective moments, character analysis, character study. Still, it's a lot of mystery going on. A lot of it is kind of discovering the truth about who he is and what he's been through. And just kind of peeling it all back like an onion. So I'll put the link to that one below, and you'll enjoy that one.